What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So if you are wondering, yes, we did end up getting a motorcycle playlist in Need for Speed Unbound before Motorfest. The reason why I did want to talk about this in a video today is because the playlist is really fun. Now you're probably going to notice that currently, guys, within 16 hours this was going to change, but at least right now there is going to be an S1000RR only playlist. And yes, it is going to be a newer S1000R, which is going to be the 2019 version. It is actually a really good looking bike. The races are insanely fun, and it's also going to be all kinds of different S Plus races scattered around the map. When I was doing a few different playlists, I was like, bro, these races are so dang fun to do. In fact, guys, I'm probably going to do a second video on the motorcycle to give some tips and tricks on it. It's actually got some cool things you can learn about it that can make you quicker in the events, and also most likely help you get faster in the races and win more events on top of it. Now, the reason why I did want to talk about this in a video today is because, well, we did end up getting a motorcycle PvP only playlist in Need for Speed Unbound, man. Now, this really does sound insane to me because for a few reasons. For one, this is going to be Need for Speed, right? When was the last Need for Speed game we had a motorcycle in it? I'll tell you, never, bro. And we somehow have a new bike in this game, and there's already a playlist with different events you can do with it. Funny part is the bikes also handle so dang good. I was really surprised how much they actually nailed it. I guess all the times they actually put the bikes in the Burnout Paradise back in the day, you can definitely tell they nailed the bike in Need for Speed Unbound, which gives me hope that the next Need for Speed is most likely going to have bikes as well. At least we can only hope it's going to. But the thing about this, though, is if you actually want to ride the bike, guys, currently I know everybody does know this, you will neither have to do lockdown, you can cruise around and lock down around the map if you want with it, pretty much as long as you actually want to because there's no timer on the actual bike, just the match itself, or you're going to have to jump into some of the playlists in the game, which I'll show that here in a quick second, because in the main menu there's going to be a playlist, but there's another place you can find them if you're looking to do races with the motorcycles. The thing is, though, a lot of players are probably going to be looking at this going, yo, we need the motorcycles in free roam, man. Like, after doing the playlist for a bit, yeah, we need the motorcycles in free roam. Like, legit, everybody would be cruising around on bikes. It would be so dang insane. I can not only imagine having Need for Speed customization with motorcycles to where we can actually cruise around with these, have a great time with our friends and stuff. And you know what, EA? I feel like you guys are going to add this thing into free roam, especially after most players are going to be using the bike in a playlist going, yo, this thing is so dope. People are legitimately playing Lockdown right now, bro, just to ride the motorcycle, man. That should tell you something. The thing is, though, with a PvP playlist, though, you can actually test the bike out in different races. There's going to be legit track-focused races, which I would say in some areas that you could probably tell the bike's a bit odd on some of like the bumps and all that, which does make sense. I mean, it's an S1000RR. It's not going to be like a different type of street bike, so you're probably going to feel the bumps and all that more depending on the suspension, which I don't know why I'm getting into this at the moment. But the thing I actually noticed when doing the different playlist events, whether it's going to be on the track or in the street, is the bikes are so dang fun to use. Funny thing is, guys, when I think about this, we all do know Motorfest has motorcycles. Motorfest has also been out over a year, and there is not a motorcycle PvP playlist. In fact, there's actually no PvP playlist at all after 1 year, which I still don't understand. But the bikes in that game are basically useless at the moment. Like, you pretty much can't use them. The cars are all going to be faster, which means you can actually race the bikes on PvP. Yeah, you could go in and do like regular PvE races with them, but you can't actually race against players and stuff like that because there's no way to actually do it. The bikes are not going to be quick enough, and honestly, they need to be a lot better in Motorfest, man. Like, they really should go into that game and, like, revamp the motorcycles because they're honestly pretty terrible. Like, I think they could actually make them a lot better if they really focused on it. That's what really made me laugh, though, like, jumping on a Need for Speed Unbound, doing the playlist for a bit, which I'm probably going to keep doing them because I'm actually addicted to riding the motorcycle. I have so much fun with it. You would actually be like, yo, the bike's probably going to be terrible, man. This is a Need for Speed game, right? We focus on cars here. Well, no, we actually have a motorcycle that handles insanely well. It's going to be really fast. I think the max speed on it's like 190 or something, which funnily enough, the real bike in actual, real life can hit like 186 or so. If you actually do the ECU flash and all that and some changes, then yes, you can go well over 200 miles an hour with it. So I would actually say the overall speed on this thing is going to be fairly realistic. Doing the playlist though, one thing I also noticed, now I do understand you could probably see this in lockdown, but the sense of speed on the motorcycle, man, is so dope, dude. Like when you're actually accelerating, you're going through the gears, you can actually see the bike flying, bro. Like you really do feel like you're actually going fast on a motorcycle. This thing really is flying. Like we all do know the sense of speed in Motorfest and all that, using a bike in there you're probably going to be basically just kind of cruising along, like it doesn't feel like you're really moving. In this game, it actually feels like you're flying on the bike, only doing 180. Like if I actually did a side-by-side comparison, which I'm probably not going to, but if I was to put like the bike in this game next to that one on the actual thing, you're probably going to see how much faster the bike in this game feels. Like it legit is that great. And I feel like a lot of players are probably going to jump on and go, yo, wait a minute, bruh. There's a PvP playlist for the S1000R, which tells me something. Yes, they can easily put this bike in free roam, and I think they're going to, but they're like, yo, let's see what people think about this bike in the playlist. Let's see what people think about it in the lockdown, and then we'll move on later on and throw this thing into free roam for everybody. Like, you don't have to use the bike against cars, as I mentioned. Keep it in the regular playlist with itself. But allowing players to use this bike in free roam, man, like I guarantee it right now, everybody would probably ride it. Jump online, try the bike out, cruise around on it, man. It is legit that fun. And also, as I did mention earlier, I actually wanted to jump on free roam to show this here quick because players might have been wondering about the motorcycle. That yes, there is going to be a current PvP playlist right now in the main menu for it. But if you actually head into multiplayer, guys, you can still use the motorcycle if you want. So right here, for example, which is going to be this one up here, you can actually click on this. Then you're going to see the motorcycle playlist here. I think there's a total of 3 or something. One of them's probably in the actual, menu right now, but there's 3 of them here. You can jump in here, guys, go through the races, invite players to them. There's probably a high chance you can actually do the races by yourself if nobody joins you, but at least you're also going to have the option to do other races as well with the motorcycle. It's pretty dope. Now, I don't think these have any bike playlist things in them. I believe there's just 4 of them, I believe, which one of them, again, is in the menu. The other 3 are in this side of it. But at least you're actually going to have legitimate playlists for a bike. Funny part is, guys, that is legit going to be 9 different races right there for these, which is kind of hilarious to me. You can actually jump in, do all kinds of different races on Need for Speed Unbound with a motorcycle, bro. Like, I'm actually in a way lost for words though because the motorcycles in Unbound are legitimately more fun than Motorfest at the moment. We all do know, everybody has been saying it, the bikes definitely need a rework. On top of that, there's legitimately no way to even race them. I'm still mind blown there's not a actual like separate playlist for motorcycles or any classes for that matter where players can actually enjoy a specific class they want to run. It's really insane to me that we managed to get a legit motorcycle playlist that's separate from everything else on a game that doesn't even focus on motorcycles in a game like Need for Speed compared to something like Motorfest that, well, has had motorcycles in it since the Crew 1, which is, again, around, I think it's like 9 years or something. I do know the Crew 1, the Crew 2 technically had like class-based races. The motorcycles in the Crew 2 were also a tad faster in some ways, but not all that much. They also were all maxed out in a certain speed, so they weren't all that great against the cars. And we also see in Motorfest that the bikes are basically useless against the cars again. But if we look at something like Unbound, though, the bikes are going to be separated, and they're going to be fun in their own actual elements in their own way. Isn't that the way to do it, man? Separated, have their own playlist or something, have a separate category, and boom, players can not only enjoy the cars, but also the bikes. Do let me know what you guys think about the motorcycles in Unbound. So far, I admit I'm having such a great time with them. I really want to see these things in free roam because I would already imagine everybody's going to be squatted up on them, legitimately just cruising around.